Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. If you would rise, and we're going to do our pledge. Commissioner Shaw Williams is going to lead us in our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, Madam Secretary. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Fowler? Commissioner Rice?
Here.
Commissioner Trejo?
Here.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Here.
Chairman Springs?
Here. Any communications from staff?
Yes, Chair. First of all, welcome to the Planning Commission meeting of August 7th, 2024. I just want to start the meeting before I hand it over to the next person by really saying how proud I am of this young man, all that he's accomplished, all the things that he's done for the city, his dedication, his attention to detail, except sometimes, but we won't. And I really am excited about what he's going to provide or continue to provide to the city. So I want to introduce the Planning Commission, the chair and the commissioners, to our newest planning manager, Mr. Bernard McCrumbie.
Hi.
And with that, I'll get out the way and hand the meeting over to Bernard.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson, and excited to continue the city's business. It's an honor, and want to continue to work. So let's get to it. Excited, thank you, and humbled. Chairman, staff has provided an updated notice of exemption for items 6A and 6B with the correct environmental numbers. We also provided the version online as well as a copy made available to the public. And that concludes staff's staff's communications this evening. And once again, I'm sorry, before I conclude, just want to thank the commission and Mr. Jackson for your trust, and look forward to continue to work. Thank you.
I want to say congratulations to you as well. And once you move up in the ranks, the commission, we're going to go out to lunch. On you.
Oh.
Okay. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, public comments regarding agenda items. Person wishing to address the Planning Commission on any items on the agenda other than the public hearing may do so at this time. Just go to the mic in the back, give us your name. If it's not on the agenda, sir, it's a public hearing. Okay, very good, thank you. Hearing, seeing none, we're going to close this segment. And I'd like to get a motion on the minutes, approval on the minutes for July 3rd, 2024.
So moved.
It's been properly moved in second that the minutes have been approved. Call for any questions for the July 3rd minutes, 2024. Call for any questions? We're hearing none, we're going to call for a vote.
Commissioner Fowler?
Aye.
Commissioner Rice?
Aye.
Commissioner Trejo?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Aye.
Chairman Springs?
Aye. Madam Secretary, our first item.
Item 6A, a public hearing to consider an application by Stephen Son for special use permit number 24-00013 to allow outdoor dining for an existing approximately 21,500 square foot grocery store that is part of an existing multiple tenant commercial building on approximately 1.92 acre C2 General Commercial Zone property at 209 West Arborvitae Street.
Chairman, the file is present, and notice in the time, form, and manner as required by law has been given. Staff has received no written communication regarding this matter, and the Assistant Planner, Angel Leon Martel, is present to do a short staff presentation.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman Springs and members of the Planning Commission. The subject site for this special use permit is located within the Commercial General Plan area and is zoned C2 or General Commercial. The property is located along 3 frontages of Eucalyptus Avenue, Arborvitae Street, and Fir Avenue, with commercial uses to the north, south, east, and west. The request is to approve the proposed outdoor dining for an existing grocery store. The applicant will convert an existing walkway area into a 408 square foot outdoor dining patio. The grocery store plans to remodel the bakery and add a new delicatessen service counter to accompany the outdoor dining area. The deli counter will provide hot food items such as ethnic foods, salads, sandwiches, and vegetarian options, similar to those service delis at Vons or like a Ralph's supermarket. Restroom facilities and dining tables will be located within the grocery store. The proposed patio area is accessible from the interior of the market from an existing door opening. The proposed location of the outdoor patio is highlighted here in blue. 5 tables and a total of 20 seats will be provided to patrons. Aside from the existing roof overhang above the building entrances, umbrellas will be provided throughout the patio area for shade. The patio will be open from 7 a.m. to 9:30 p.m., 7 days a week. Potted landscaping and lighting is proposed throughout the area as well. A 3 1/2 foot high wall with wrought iron top rail and wood board will secure the area. Staff conducted a site visit of the property. These pictures highlight the existing site and areas of improvement as conditioned, most notably paint and replacement of any worn siding. As conditioned, the proposed project will serve as an enhancement to its neighborhood setting and will continue to be compatible with the surrounding area. The proposed project is consistent with the general plan and will promote sound economic development and increase employment opportunities. This project is consistent with the goals of the Active Transportation Plan and the strategies of the Inglewood Energy and Climate Action Plan. No public comments were received for or against this project. The existing grocery store is developed with 52 interior and exterior security cameras, 4 of which are facing the outdoor patio area. A categorical exemption has been filed, and the project is exempt from further environmental review. This concludes my presentation, and I'm available to answer any questions the commission might have. The applicant is also present tonight to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to open up with questions for you. We'll start with Commissioner Fowler.
No questions for the staff, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Rice.
My questions are for the applicant.
Commissioner Trejo.
Just one quick question for staff. There is plenty of parking, right?
Yes, it meets the parking it actually exceeds the parking
Exceeds the
requirement.
parking. Okay, thank you. My other questions will go to the applicant.
Commissioner Shaw Williams.
No questions for staff, thank you.
Okay, I have no questions for staff. If the applicant is here, you can go to the mic behind you. Just give us your name and tell us about your project.
Hi, this is Stevenson. I'm the project architect, and then I'm here to speak on behalf.
You're going to have to pick up the mic and put it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, thanks. Hi, I'm Stevenson. I'm here to behalf of the project owner. And then good evening, member of the Inglewood City Planning Commission. I'm excited to stand before you today to introduce our project. A new bakery and hot food kitchen, complete with an outdoor dining patio. At Best Bargain, located at 209 West Arbor Vita Street. Our vision for this establishment extends beyond simply providing food. We aim to create a welcoming hub for our community, a place where neighbors and visitors alike can gather and enjoy. We plan to achieve this by actively engaging with the local community through events, promotions, and partnerships with local suppliers. Our kitchen will offer a diverse menu featuring fresh, locally sourced ingredients from delectable baked goods to savory grilled meats and vegetarian options. We will cater to variety of taste. We are committed to highest standard of food safety and quality. To ensure this, we will replacing all existing equipment and with new state-of-the-art appliances. To enhance the dining experience, we will create an inviting outdoor patio equipped with comfortable furnishings, shade umbrellas, and warm lightings. We envision this space as a relaxing oasis where our patrons can enjoy their meals. Also, we provide new accessible restrooms where we provide to the needs of our patrons. We believe that this new bakery, hot food kitchen, and outdoor patio will be valuable asset to the city of Inglewood. We are eager to become an integral part of the community and contribute to its continued growth and prosperity. Thank you for your time and consideration. We look forward to our opportunity to work with the City Planning Commission to bring this project to fruition. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're going to open it up for questions for you. Just remain there, sir. We're going to start our questioning with Commissioner Fowler, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Song, does the owners have any similar businesses existing
Yes.
anywhere?
Yes, they have on the several grocery market in the several location, other cities. So,
In LA County?
yes, in Campton, and then near from the other city. I couldn't remember the other city.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would not be a new venture for them. I was pleased to hear that they're talking about using local suppliers. We always appreciate that. I heard 7 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Is that 7 days a week? How many days? What is the
7 days a week.
7 days
Yeah,
a week?
during the same time with the opening the grocery market.
Okay. And was there any plans, I'm always on the noise, were there any plans for entertainment?
Pardon?
Entertainment, were there plans in there?
Oh, actually,
Future for
no
entertainment?
entertainment equipment. There's a kitchen equipment only for the dining, outdoor dining.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's all I have right now, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Rice?
Mr. Song, it looks like you have a kitchen there now with a meat market. Is that what it is?
Yes, currently they have a bakery kitchen with a meat market kitchen as well in the same location. But the existing condition is pretty old and then needs to replacing all kitchen equipment. So we plan to renovate their area and then with the new kitchen equipments, providing the safe food to our customers.
And are you remodeling the inside dining area also?
Inside has no dining area.
I just saw some tables here, looks like tables.
Oh,
Maybe
there
those
is
are
a
storage bins.
display for the merchant.
So all of your dining will be outside?
Yes.
Okay. You have an off-site alcohol sales license now?
Alcohol is not sale for the customers for that area. Patio is only for the hot food and then bakery and coffee, non-alcoholic beverages.
Okay, that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, may I interject?
Yes.
In regards to your question, Commissioner Rice, about interior dining tables, there will be a couple of interior dining tables for patrons as well. Yeah, proposed. Yeah, proposed. Mhm.
Commissioner Trejo?
Thank you, Mr. San. So the special use permit is for outdoor dining, right? Okay. I'm quite familiar with the market since I don't live too far away. And over the years, it really has improved inside. And you can see that not only the physical improvement, but also what is offered. And I used to not, many, many years ago, used to not like to go there because I was not impressed with it. But it has really, really improved. And I think to me, although you say you have it in other cities, it really is a very novel idea, particularly in this location. I don't know if you had this in mind, but not only do I see it as a benefit for the local residents, and I know that there's a couple of blocks there where you get a lot of people that congregate drinking their coffee and stuff, but now with food that will be offered, I think it really benefits the city, the local residents particularly. But what I see too is since Arborvitae is a straight shot to the entertainment district, people driving to the entertainment district, I think will see it and say, oh, let's stop and get something there, particularly because there's so much parking. And you don't see parking available in the city of Inglewood. There are other little restaurants along along Arborvitae, but parking is not really accessible. But this one, I think, okay, it's going to benefit the local community, the local residents. Plus, I think it will be a big hit with those people going to the entertainment district. So I was very impressed with it. I was happy to see that as a part of the conditions, proposed conditions, no alcoholic beverages to be sold there or allowed to be consumed there. Because there's a liquor store in that area, and not far from there is another location where they sell liquor. So to add a question for Mr. Son, there is a security guard there, right? I always see
Yes.
one in the market. Okay. He will be like roaming the area to make sure nobody drinks there because I've seen that in one of the locations not far from there where guys will be drinking out of paper bags and you know that there's a beer in there. So your security guard will be walking around to make sure that doesn't happen?
Actually, the current security guard duty is cover the only the grocery market area, is because the grocery is the only tenant of the property. So, other side of the tenant side will be protected by the other tenants.
But your security guard will be watching the dining area, right?
Yes.
The outside in particular because of
Yes.
the potential of
Right.
people wanting to drink there. The only thing that I'd like to add, and is if this gets approved, I have seen half walls, pony walls that have that allow for shrubs to be planted within them. And I'd like to see if that would be feasible to work out during site plan review, in addition to the landscaping that is already proposed. So I hope you would be amenable to that.
Yeah, we designed for the some landscaping is around the pony wall for the covering the with some the planting pot. So we're gonna put on the some planting on the over the pony wall. That is our the suggestions for the landscaping.
I have seen, and this weekend, it just so happened, I went out of the city and I was passing by this very nice establishment, and they have a half pony wall with shrubs planted within.
Right.
And that's what I would like to see in addition to.
Okay, just really quick, Commissioner Trejo, just to confirm, you would like planter boxes to be installed on the top of the pony wall for landscaping?
I will show you, I have a picture, I just didn't get it,
In front of or on top of?
on top of it. Well, they're planted within the pony wall,
On the side of the wall, okay,
side
got
of the
it.
wall. I will provide a picture of what I would like to see, but that, again, in addition to the potted plants that you're already proposing. But again, I think it's a great idea, both for the local community and for our visitors going to the entertainment
I
district.
will do it.
That's all for now.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Hi, Mr. San. I also really like the idea, the concept. There's a particular store that I sometimes frequent and eat and dine outside as well. My only concern is this is going to be a really nice space that you're going to have, and it's going to draw attention possibly to people who are non-customers coming into the store and then sitting in your outdoor patio. How are you going to handle that? In other words, you know, you'll get people who might have their devices and just marinate for hours. I've seen it. And they're not eating, they haven't purchased anything. Are you going to have signs that say customers who are dining only? How are you going to handle that? Because that can definitely be an issue, especially, you know.
I totally agree with your opinion, your idea, and then as I mentioned before, the security guard is on duty during the business hour, and then we will provide put on the sign, our customer only, not from the outside
Good.
on the wall. Yes.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Okay, very good. I have just a couple of questions. One of my questions has to do with that pony wall. The only way you can enter that dining area is through the inside of the supermarket, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you're not serving any alcohol, but are you serving beer and wine?
Beer and wine, because the market has a liquor store, liquor section.
Okay, let me ask my staff. Staff, would they be
Mr.
allowed to serve beer and wine?
No, and we do have a condition prohibiting that. Beer and wine, as well as prohibiting liquor as well.
You understand?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now, also on parking, you know, you're not far from SoFi, which means people are coming down there, getting off the 405 because you're east of the 405. And good and obvious, they know how to travel to get to a location. So now they're going to come because you're going to be online serving a meal. So they're going to come to your location and get a sandwich before they actually go to SoFi or go to the Intuit Dome. So they're going to park there because your parking is free. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
So
it's
if they
free.
park there, now all of a sudden they decide, well, I can go to the game and I'll leave my car here and I'll walk to the game because it's not that far.
Yes.
So how are you going to be able to control that? Are you going to have signs posted indicating the time limit?
Yeah, I believe
that
the
effect?
parking has some signs for the prohibiting the non-customer parking. So I believe there is in the parking for the customer only. Other than that, is in the will towed away from the our property. Then the
Okay.
security guard will be watching the parking area for the if someone has on the kind of signs, and then they're gonna take care of that.
Okay, very good. I have no other questions. I'm going to open it up again for my commissioners. If they have any final questions, we're going to start with Commissioner Fowler.
One final question. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Song, what providing everything goes as planned, what's your estimated time for opening?
Actually, we already submit the plan to the buildings and safety 2 weeks ago, and then we already submit the plan to the health department. And then when we got a plan approval from the city, it will take on the 4 to 6 weeks from now on. And then construction will be occurred maybe 2 or 3 months.
So you're saying, are you
Yeah,
saying
maybe.
by the end of the year?
Yes, there's a goal.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Rice?
Back to staff, back to Angel. The tables that I asked about, I saw 3 of them on the proposed plan, actually. And will staff make sure there's ADA accessibility on the interior tables as well as the outside? Because the outside has it, but the interior doesn't indicate it.
Yes, Commissioner Rice, we can make sure we review that
Okay.
and ensure that happens.
All right, thank you.
And also put that in your, if it's approved, then that could be one of the conditions that you can add.
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear it all.
In the diagram for proposed seating, there are 3 interior tables that don't have ADA accessibility. It doesn't show it on this diagram the way it does on the outside dining.
Just to clarify that they're going through the plan check process for their interior TI for the kitchen remodel. The proposed seating is a part of their ADA regulations would be required, so they'll show that in the next iteration by the building code.
Thank you.
Commissioner Trail?
My only comments, again, I'm impressed, and I think it's a forward-looking idea for that area. So I'm really impressed with it. There are, a couple of areas in concern, and I think my fellow commissioners brought that up, is the parking that some people going to the entertainment district may abuse their parking. So I think a time limit sign should be put there, because if it's customers only, I could argue, well, I bought a sandwich here and I'm a customer. But if there's a time limit that says 2 hours or something, then I think that is a good idea, because that is an area of concern. And also the alcoholic beverages. I know that there is a proposed condition that says that no alcohol, which to me means beer and wine and hard liquor, shall be consumed there. But it could potentially, again, I know the area, and I know some of the problems that a couple of the other sites have had. So I would also like to see, if this is approved, would like to see like a 1-year review from the issuance of the, what do I call it, the certificate of occupancy? Yeah.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
No further questions, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We'd like to open it up for anyone, thank you, sir. Thank you. We'd like to open up this segment for anyone that is for or against this particular project. You can go to the mic and give us a reasoning for. Hearing, seeing none, we're going to close this segment. Okay. Is there a motion on the floor? And please, on your motion, would you indicate the beer and wine not being able to serve? Also, you had indicated about the planners, so you want to put that in your, who's ever going to be doing the motion?
I'll be doing the motion, and I had planned on doing that.
Okay.
So I move that we approve special use permit number 24-00013 and affirm categorical exemption EACE 2024-087, and that we adopt resolution approving SUP 24-00013, and in addition to the conditions being proposed that are a part of this file, that we include that all AD requirements be fulfilled, that 1-year review following the issuance of the certificate of occupancy be implemented to make sure that no problems have occurred with those areas of concern that I mentioned. and that the applicant add to the existing landscaping by working with staff during site plan review to consider a half pony wall planters for shrubs to be planted. I will provide a photo of what I'm talking about to the planner.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved in second. We'll call for any questions. Hearing none, we'll call for a vote.
Commissioner Fowler,
Aye.
Commissioner Rice,
Aye.
Commissioner Trejo,
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams.
Aye.
Chairman Springs.
Aye. Mr. Dumbo, is there a process?
Yes, sir. According to the IMC, anyone may appeal the Planning Commission's decision on this matter by filing a written appeal within 20 days from the notice of the decision with the Planning Division and an appeal fee of $942.
Okay. Congratulations, sir. You have your dining. I meant to ask you, what kind of sandwiches are you serving? That's what Okay. Madam Secretary?
Item 7A, Design Review 24-00014 to allow the construction of a 630 square foot addition to an existing multiple tenant commercial building on an approximately 3,700 square foot MU-1 TOD mixed use 1 zone property at 472 South Market Street.
Chairman, the file is present. Notice is not required for a design review, and Assistant Planner Angel Leon Martel is back again to present for a short presentation
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman Springs and members of the Commission. The subject site for this design review is located at 472 South Market Street and has a downtown transit-oriented development land use designation with MU-1 or TOD Mixed Use 1 zoning. The property is located on the corner between Market Street and Spruce Avenue. Properties to the north, south, east, and west are developed with commercial uses. The property is currently developed with 2 detached commercial buildings. The applicant is proposing an approximately 630 square foot addition to the building located along the northern area of the lot. The addition is for a proposed fast food restaurant that will provide hamburgers, hot dogs, sandwiches, and salads. The proposed hours are from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week. The applicant is proposing site improvements that include a new parking lot layout, landscaping, trash enclosure, and walkway area. Here is the initial rendering, the very first proposed of the building. Here's a picture of the existing site conditions. And here's the final product. The proposed flat roof building is consistent with the design guidelines outlined of the downtown TOD plan. The building consists of a cornice at the top of the building, stucco, transom windows extending across the front of the building, new metal awning, cementitious paneling at the base, and split-face concrete block between windows and the base of the building. Building materials include 69% of transparent glazing, 2 horizontal plaster courses to adorn the base and center of the building, which are mostly visible along the east elevation. The site will receive new parking lot pavement, restriping. New landscaping planters are proposed along Market Street and adjacent to the east building wall. Landscaping includes fruitless olive trees, creeping vine, and laurel-based shrubs, as well as ground cover. A new 3-foot garden wall is proposed behind the landscaping along Market Street. The proposed 74 square foot trash enclosure will be made of split-face block and creeping vine facing Market Street will be installed. Findings have been made that the project is in accordance with the design review standards. As conditioned, the proposed project will serve as an enhancement to its neighborhood setting and will be compatible with the surrounding area. The project is consistent with the goals of the city's active transportation plan and the Inglewood Energy and Climate Action Plan. No comments were received for or against the request. The project is consistent with the downtown TOD land use designation. A categorical exemption has been filed and is exempt from further environmental review. And this concludes my presentation. I'm available to answer any of your questions. And the applicant is also present tonight, is available to answer questions as well. Thank you.
Okay, the report, going to open up questions. Start with Commissioner Fowler.
No questions for staff. The applicant, please. Thank you.
Commissioner Rice.
Can we go back to the plot plan? Is there a driveway on the west side there where you can drive across in front of the new proposed restaurant and go out on the west side?
Not proposed, no.
So we have 3 parking spaces and all of them are entered and exited from the east side,
Off of Spruce, correct.
off of Spruce. So you can't enter or exit onto Market Street.
That's correct.
Okay, can I see the other image you had? The final? Yeah, that one. Is there anything that prohibits you from putting parking poles just where the planter is on the right side near that, the van, to stop vehicles from coming through that way? Is there a parking space right there? Looks like you had 3
By the van on the side of the building, no, there's no parking space.
on the other, going out, since there's no driveway on the west side,
Oh,
if you were to put barricades there so cars couldn't drive through. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
we'll revisit it. Okay.
Commissioner Trejo.
No questions other than the comment that certainly this rendering is much better than the initial one that was proposed.
Commissioner Shaw Williams.
No questions of staff at this time.
I have a question. Can you move it back to the original, that building right there? Is that structure right there? Yes. Is that going to be removed?
yes, so a portion.
That's one lot? Is that one parcel?
Correct. So we have this front gift shop building and then this rear building. You could kind of see like the awning style at the roof edge. That's the second building. The right portion of is an office. It's a second tenant suite. That's going to be demolished, and then the addition will set there basically.
Now, on the north side of that building, can you go back to the? Yes. On the north side of that building, is there another building that this building is going to be attached to?
Well, the way the building, the street is laid out, there's a building that's right next to the existing office and retail shop. So they're right up against each other. They're on different parcels though, different properties. They're just right up against each other.
I want to go back. I want to talk about the entrance of this parking lot because you can only enter it on Spruce. Why wouldn't you be able to enter it on Market? Is there a reason we can't enter it on Market Street? Is there?
No reason in particular. Currently, there is not an ingress or egress to Market Street from the site. Secondly, the site is really constrained by way of its configuration and size, and so the best way to kind of circulate the property was to provide primary ingress and egress from Spruce.
I had another question. come back. Thank you. If the applicant is here, please go to the mic and tell us about this project and please give us your name.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
No, we
No.
cannot hear you.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Louder, louder, louder.
Can you hear me now?
Just talking to the microphone like you're a rock star,
Not
okay?
gonna bite you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Teferi Alamayehu. And
Could I please have the spelling of your name?
T E F like Frank E R I.
Talking in the mic.
My last name is A L like Larry E M like Mary A Y E H U.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Um, Again, good evening, and this is a small mom and pops like project. We are located across from the iconic restaurant of Woody's, and we are very motivated to become one of restaurants that will be attracted some other Inglewood residents.
Hold on just a minute, sir. We're going to check on the microphone.
Okay, thank you,
Hold on
Chair.
just a minute.
If we can, Chair, if we can request a 3-minute recess.
Okay,
to-
very good. We're going to do a 5-minute recess until we get our equipment together. 5-minute recess. Thank you.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. At the top and hold it right here.
There's three. There's three.
You don't want to try this one?
Here you go. Look, this is Simone. Like I said, she looked like she was, look at the legs.
Yeah, she's got the short, stubby legs.
Yeah, look at this.
Chairman, are you ready? I think we're ready to go.
Going to call this meeting back to order. Okay, sir.
Okay.
All right, we can hear you. Very good.
Okay, thank you. I'm ready to take your questions now.
You finished giving your report?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Thank
We're
you.
going to start off with Commissioner Fowler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir, did I hear you say that you have an existing restaurant already?
No, I used to own restaurant before. Our first restaurant business was here in Inglewood at 4545 West Century Boulevard in the late 80s. And then we moved from there to Culver City. We had the business there for about 10 years, and that got us a free Los Angeles Times front page. So been in this business
Okay.
for a while.
All right, thank you. So this is not new for you?
No,
And so this is it was a similar business, takeout sandwiches and so forth?
yes, thank you.
Okay. And I saw 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week?
Correct.
That's a yes?
Yes.
Well, there's going to be plenty of food to eat every night here for sure. I just have one more question in terms of, I didn't pay attention. As far as security, did you have cameras?
We will install cameras. 20,
And will you have personnel as well, or just cameras?
yeah, I know some people that could do that for me.
You know some people? Have your people call my people? Okay.
Yeah.
You can put that in your motion if you want.
Okay. And then staffing. So typically, about how many staff would you have?
I would say at full capacity, we may have about 15 workers there.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, but it is to be in and out, basically.
Yes,
Do people call an order ahead of time, or
Yes,
is that typically how your business has been in the past?
similarly, yes.
Similarly, okay. All right, that's all I have for right now. Thank you.
Commissioner Rice.
I just wanted to hear about the menu. What type of food are you going to be serving?
It's going to be more like Northern African food and Mediterranean. And
I don't know why I heard someone say hot dogs and hamburgers, and just
Yeah.
didn't seem right. Okay, so Mediterranean. Tell me more.
it's going to be healthy food, 100% prepared and made in the store. So all fresh food.
No, I didn't read it.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Chairman.
Okay, before I move on, your question, Commissioner Rice, was about the food items, and did we hear from our staff what the food items were going to be?
Yes, we mentioned that there was going to be sandwiches, salads, but also what was included in the description was hamburgers and hot dogs as well.
That's why he asked.
And you, sir, you're from where? South Africa?
No, I'm from Eritrea,
Where's that?
Northeast Africa.
East Africa.
Yes.
You guys have hamburgers and hot dogs in East Africa?
Yeah, I lived most of my life here, so. We do have hamburger, though. It's different kind.
Understood. All right. Commissioner Trejo, I'm sorry, you finished, Commissioner Wright?
Well, I'm going to have to admit that I don't know, but I can't hear very well what is being said. Maybe it was the interruption of the system there. But can you tell me again? We're doing a design review, and I know it's only design review, but I just want to ask what. And I like the design, but I do just want to ask. So it's a restaurant, right?
Correct, yes.
It's a restaurant that will be serving hamburgers, hot dogs, sandwiches, Mediterranean food, and East African food.
Yes,
And how many tables do you have?
it's all takeout.
Oh, it's all takeout. Okay. Okay. All right. I am concentrating on the design, though. Thank you.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Yes, I was just concerned about forms of payment you're going to take. Is it going to be a cashless, or are you going to accept debit cards as well as cash?
Yes, cash and debit card.
Okay.
Maybe I owe you a little bit.
I owe you for one hamburger, huh?
You won't be in
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay, and elaborate on Mediterranean food. My mind went to Greek, but it's slightly different than Greek food.
Greek, yeah, Greek, sort of close to Greek,
Is it? Okay.
yeah, and Turkey and Italian, that area, they have a different type of style preparing food.
Oh,
It's a little bit healthy. It's kind of popular nowadays.
oh, okay. And do you have a name yet for your staff?
For my restaurant,
Yeah.
no,
No name yet.
no name.
Okay. What was the name of your last restaurant?
Red Sea,
Say that again?
Red Sea.
Oh, Red Sea.
Yes.
Okay, nice. Okay, no further questions.
Thank you.
Okay, sir, I have a couple of questions for you. They're pretty direct questions, Mike. Have you done this before?
Correct.
And where have you done it?
In Inglewood and Culver City.
In Inglewood, you say?
Yes.
Where in Inglewood?
4545 Century Boulevard.
4545?
Yes. And I can show you here the Los Angeles Times full front coverage that we got from my restaurant before.
And how long was that, has that establishment been?
This one was in 1995.
Is it still in existence?
No.
Was it a sit-down restaurant?
Yes.
4545. Yes, it was a while ago.
In 1995.
So, so 1995 was the date that it opened, or was that the date that you closed it?
Oh, no. The date we closed was in 1998.
1998.
98.
So it was only for 3 years.
No, from
You said
like,
1995
we started in 1989.
and 89.
Yeah, and then closed 1998.
1998.
Yes.
85 to 89. 98.
89 to 98.
About 13 years. Is staff aware of this restaurant at 4545 West Century Boulevard?
No, I believe he mentioned that that restaurant was open back in the 80s. Yeah. So we have not, we don't have any record.
Yeah, we closed it, I believe, in 91 or 92.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a couple questions? Since this is, for those of us that have lived in Inglewood a long time, I've always had an eye on this little spot because I remember they wanted to put a billboard there one time. And I thought, what? It's the most inappropriate place to have a billboard, and they didn't put a billboard in. So it's sort of an interesting spot. And again, I know that we're looking at the design, but I want to make sure that what's inside of a nicely designed building is going to be successful. And you apparently have had experience with the restaurant that opened in Inglewood in 1989.
1989.
in 1989 that was opened and closed in, I think it's 98? I heard you say.
92.
Okay, I'm a little confused. I heard
And then
19.
we-
Oh,
okay,
can you
Hold on, sir.
can you let me finish, please? And I hope that you're not upset at our line of, or my line of questioning, but I really like to see new projects come into the city of Inglewood. And we want to make sure that they're successful. And that's why, certainly I know I ask a lot of questions, but only because I want our applicants to be successful. What is your most recent venture that you have had?
I'm a mortgage broker, and I have a store. The front store right there is mine too. The key shop. Probably
Oh, the key
been-
shop is yours.
Yes, madam.
How long have you had the key shop?
Since 2012.
2012?
Correct.
And it's been run as a key shop?
Yeah, key shop and has some other items too.
Uh-huh. But you haven't had a restaurant or a food establishment in the last I'm going to use 1998. You haven't had a restaurant since 1998?
No.
Okay. Okay, that at least clarified it a little bit more as to what you're going to put into a nicely designed building. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no further questions, any other questions for the applicant? Commissioner Fowler?
I was looking at the design. So where were you planning to have the signage? I'm looking, it would be facing this, see that orange kind of like van? Is that where you would have where'd you have your signage?
On top of the building.
On top of the building?
Yeah, the restaurant.
Oh, I see. Okay. When he said on top, I went all the way to the roof. Okay. And since you have not been in business for a while, are there some specific people you're hiring or you're partnering with that have been in the food industry? The food industry has changed a lot since 1992, so that's why I'm asking.
Yes, I've been in business for a long time. I always been self-employed, and growing up, my parents were hotel owners, and I grew up in a hotel, serving foods, serving people. You know, this is my passion. But you cannot always do what you want in life. Sometimes we tried, and we had a good run, and then we had to close it down. Now I'm back again. I'm taking risk, and that's what I'm doing right now. I would not know if I'll be succeeding or not, but I'm gonna try.
Okay, I understand that. Sometimes when it's your passion, you are more successful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Rice?
I'm still having a challenge with the ingress and egress there. And then you put one side, the one that we don't see, the fourth parking space is the ADA accessibility space. That's where you have the van accessibility, I'm assuming, correct? And then you have another van that's parked there, and that's a loading zone. So did we have a restricted time when they're only going to load during certain hours before they open or close? And because with a van, or if they use that for any other type of parking or regular parking or owner parking, there's only 20 feet of width on the ingress and egress of that driveway, so you take 10 feet away with that vehicle. So then how do we get people in and out? If a vehicle stays there.
Yeah, Commissioner, just if the design review is approved, this would be required to go through site plan review, where we would work with the traffic division as well as our staff to ensure proper and adequate vehicle circulation on the site. Correct. And loading is not required based on the size of the lot per the IMC. And so I know that the van there is a little confusing,
Totally.
but that's not a, yeah, that's not a requirement, so,
So the loading zone doesn't have to be there.
correct.
Okay. Another design view of it, looking off of Spruce, if you had a wall there 20 feet up, giving you proper backing space, and with the lawn not there and the entire side with a driveway, and all the cars could just pull in without potentially hitting pedestrians that are sitting there waiting for their food, and you had a wall there, could you redesign that off of Spruce to have the entire sidewalk as just a driveway? And then you get a lot more parking, and then it would be much safer for the patrons that are coming in for their food.
Yes, we would be able to work with the designer to modify that, the parking lot.
Okay, so,
Will we be able to
Okay.
put that in your, if it's
Yeah.
approved, you can, okay.
Yes. So we were just talking about the situation with them backing up on the lot. And there's already an existing driveway there. The goal was to remove that driveway. We may work with our traffic division in the Public Works Department to just extend the driveway, because I think it's going to make a lot more sense for patrons that are coming in to be able to get out of there. We just want to make sure, be careful with that, because obviously this goes outside of our control in the sense that Public Works traffic has to agree. So I would recommend that we not include a condition, just because that would force us to have to come back if it was included. But we understand exactly what the concern is. We were having a little sidebar discussion about it. I think we'll be able to accommodate what it is that I think the vision of the Plan Commission has with ingress and egress on the site.
Commissioner Trail,
I don't have any more comments or questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
No further questions, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. If anyone would like to, we're going to open it up for anyone who wants to talk about this particular project, either for or against this project. You can go to the mic, give us your name, and tell us. You said no, huh?
This is a non-public hearing.
It
Design
is?
review is a non-public hearing.
Why didn't you tell me that? Okay, so at this particular point, I'm going to open it up for final questions from our commissioners.
No questions, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Rice,
no questions?
Commissioner Trejo,
No question?
Commissioner Shaw Williams.
No questions, thank you.
Okay, I need to get a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to affirm the categorical exemption EACE 2024-073 and adopt the resolution approving DR 240014. I am asking for the condition that we discussed with the applicant for sufficient security cameras that were adequate for the safety of the participants.
I'd like a second and like,
Excuse me, there is a condition,
there
condition
is?
number 7 that states that the applicant shall install surveillance cameras to be monitored in real time. The exact number and location of the cameras will be determined during site plan review. Would you like a specific number of cameras to be
Oh, I'm not a camera
specified?
specialist. So I will leave
Okay,
that to.
we'll make sure that we provide
Yes.
adequate surveillance.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to add, while you're having that discussion regarding security, security continues to evolve. Back in the day, you needed 83 million cameras everywhere. Now these cameras are very sophisticated, and they rotate on their own, and the technology has moved at a whole nother level. So we're discovering that some of these, where we used to have cameras at every corner, because of the high definition cameras that have been installed, the type of cameras. So putting numbers down, whereas I think before we really emphasized that, now it really is, we work with our police department to make sure adequate and make sure it's the proper surveillance system.
Thank you.
I'd like to add to your, I'd like to give, first of all, I'll give you a second, but I want to add to it, if I may, that the planning division works together with Public Works to enhance the ingress and egress of this particular project with public safety in mind.
So you're adding to her motion, is that what you're doing, Commissioner Rice?
Yes, I am.
I accept.
Yes, ma'am.
That's my second.
And you added to her, and you accept his addition
Yes,
to your
I
motion?
do accept.
Okay. Did you second that motion as well?
Yes, I did.
So it's been properly moved in second, and we're going to call for any questions that may come up. Hearing no questions, we're going to call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. Is there an appeal process, Mr. Bernard?
Yes, Chairman. The applicant may appeal the Planning Commission's decision on this matter by filing a written appeal within 10 days of this notice, of the notice of decision, with the Planning Division and an appeal fee of $389.
Okay, very good. Congratulations, sir, on your, we're going to make sure that, we want you to be successful on this particular, because you're a mortgage broker, not a, okay, so we want you to be successful. We'll see.
There's gonna be
Okay.
money in that sandwich.
Okay. All right, Madam Secretary.
And an approximately 1,155 square foot addition to an existing 5,388 square foot, two-story commercial building on an approximately 13,874 square foot HC Historic Core Zone property at 116 South Market Street.
Chairman, the file is present. Notice is not required for design review.
Excuse me one moment. I'm going to be recusing on item 7B because I have a property within 500 feet.
Thank you.
Didn't work for you? Yes. You need to pay your dues. Okay,
All right, Chairman, the file is present. Notice is not required for design review. And Assistant Planner Sean May is available to do his first staff presentation.
let's get some baritone there, Sean, okay?
Good evening, Chairman Springs and members of the Commission. The subject site for the design review is located at 116 South Market Street and has a downtown TOD general plan designation. The subject site is located on the east side of Market Street between Queen and Manchester and consists of 4 retail tenant spaces. The properties to the north, south, and west are commercial properties, and the property to the east is a parking lot. The applicant is proposing a design review to convert 4 retail spaces into a restaurant. The exterior alterations include the following: a new addition, highlighted on the screen behind, an accessible ramp, and a new landscape buffer consisting of Little Ragu, Sweet Bay, and Star Jasmine between the building and the parking lot. The existing facade contains a light stucco finish as shown on the screen behind. The applicant is proposing to sandblast the existing facade to reveal brick underneath. The proposed facade along Market Street will include 4 new glass bifold doors and steel canopies. The canopies will provide shade for proposed outdoor dining on the public right-of-way. The facade contains new painted black accents around the existing second floor windows and a terracotta painted parapet. The rear entrance of the building, adjacent to the alley, will feature brick around the entry doors, new transparent glass windows, and smooth plastered walls painted charcoal and white. The findings have been made that this project is in accordance with design review standards, and as conditioned, the proposed project will serve as an enhancement to its neighborhood setting and will be compatible with the area uses. The proposed project is consistent with the downtown TOD general plan designation, as well as the city's active transportation plan and strategies of the Energy and Climate Action Plan. The project is exempt from further environmental review. This concludes my presentation, and I am available to answer any questions the commission may have. The applicant and property owner are also present to answer any questions.
Okay, very good. Thank you. That's a good report. Okay, we're going to open up questions for you. Commissioner Fowler?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I might have missed the screen. Was there any comment, public comment for or against?
There was no public comment received.
Okay. My questions are for the applicant. Thank you.
Commissioner Trejo?
Thank you, Sean. Good first presentation.
Thank you.
We have 9 tables and 36 seats. Are they fixed?
The tables will be brought in at night. The chairs will be brought in. The tables, I believe, are not fixed because they're in the public right-of-way.
Oh. Okay. That's one question. You can maybe show me where the public right-of-way is, please. Go ahead.
Right here on the sidewalk in front of the building.
Okay. So we're looking at the 36 seats for the outdoor dining are the ones that are not fixed because they're in the right-of-way.
Yes.
And that's what we're looking at for the design review.
No, the design review is for the exterior facades, the changes to the building.
Okay.
And that would be these.
Do you have a landscaping plan?
Yes, the landscaping plan is shown on the site plan. It's actually right in front of the red additions, and it includes a landscape buffer. And the buffer is included, the common names of those plants are the Little Ragu Sweet Bay, which will be along the parking lot, and the Star Jasmine will be along the ADA ramp.
Okay. The rest of my questions will be directed to the applicant.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
No questions for staff, thank you.
Okay, very good report. If the applicant is here, please take the mic. Tell us about your project.
Hello, can you hear me properly?
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Irfan Sheikh. I'm from It Makes architecture firm in downtown Los Angeles. I'm an applicant, and with me is Sean Berry. He's the owner of the property. So I can answer most of the architecture questions, and then Sean can answer most of the operation questions for you. The project involves renovating a 2-story building with changes to both the interior and the exterior. On the first floor, we are transforming 4 retail spaces into a single restaurant. The second floor is right now as an office. We're going to keep that thing as an office. We're not changing that. The renovation includes an addition of 1,105 square foot addition in the rear of the building to expand the restaurant's dining in the kitchen area. Accessible upgrades will be made throughout the site, including a new ramp and a stair at the rear entrance, restriping the parking lot, and adding a new accessible restrooms. The proposed addition does not exceed 1 story, so the building height will remain consistent with the neighborhood structures. The restaurant will fit well with the Market Street area. An additional landscape along the alley will enhance the building appearance while maintaining its proportional facade. Vehicular access to the property will continue via an alley on the east of the building, which connects to the Manchester Boulevard and Queen Street. There will be no change to an existing access or level of services. The Market Street facade will be restored to reveal the original brick that is currently covered by the plaster. We are also proposing 4 transparent aluminum glass storefront windows and new steel canopies along the west facade. We are proposing terracotta paint along the edges of the roof parapet. This updates will give the first floor a modern industrial design that complements the existing second floor windows. The storefront change aims to enhance the pedestrian-friendly and human-scale character to the historical street corridor. For the east elevation, we will combine existing smooth tan-colored plaster with newly painted light charcoal smooth plaster and brick at the rear entrance. The elevation enhancements will feature increasing landscape and a vibrant mix of material and color. The project guarantees a sufficient traffic and pedestrian circulation while also facilitating easy access for the city emergency and service equipments. The building and the landscape are designed to complement its scale, surroundings, and intended use. Building elevation will be crafted to blend it seamlessly with the surrounding area's characteristic. While these factors in mind, we are confident that our project will be well positioned for approval. We have currently the requirement for the parking. The seats we are proposing is 120% seats would be seated inside the restaurant with 36 outdoor seating. We have provided 21 parking stalls with 2 accessible stalls with a 1 van accessible. The operation hours would be mostly from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And the restaurant will serve pizza, sandwich, salads, and some appetizers. So if you have any more questions, we'll be happy to answer your questions.
I wanted to commend you all because Inglewood's come along. It's, and I came to Market Street exactly 1 time every year to buy my school uniform. And I remembered it when I was a kid, and I was like, why isn't there more going on Market Street? And when I started buying real estate, this place stuck in my mind, and I waited a long time, to actually do something, on Market Street, and I finally believe now is the time, and I hope other people follow suit as well. It's a great place, and it deserves a lot more than what it is right now. So, I just wanted to throw that out there, and the concept here is a place to gather, a place, that has better food than what's available right now in the area. I still live very close to here. So, it took me 10 minutes to get here today, and, my mom still lives in Ladera Heights, and, it's too many people leave Inglewood to eat, the people that work for me, that live in Inglewood, they go to the marina, they go to Manhattan Beach, they're not spending their dollars here in Inglewood, and I think that's going to change, and I think that all these positive developments that have happened here, they're only going to make this community better and stronger. And, we don't want to build a place where people come and pick up their food and leave. We want to create a gathering place, and, pizza is a food that people share and, eat with their family and friends. And we don't want to create a high-end place. We want to create a place that, people is accessible, and a place where people can come and, bring their kids and enjoy their time. And I anticipate a few of your questions since I've heard the questions before. So my partner that is going to come in and operate at the restaurant, they own Shakey's Pizza, and so they're operating a restaurant already in Inglewood. This would be a more elevated version of that. Shakey's has its place. The place that we're envisioning here is a more artisanal type pizza, with, some food and drinks that are a little more elevated. Shakey's is a place to go hit the lunch buffet, and, which I did today, by the way, and to, have Coors Light and, fried chicken, and Mojo potatoes. That's not, that's not the concept here. The concept here is some better food, and a place to share some food and memories with family. And, I'm hoping that, after a Little League game, this is a place where, families can go and share a meal. I know you guys are asking about hours of operation. I'm not a restaurant expert, but I know enough to be dangerous. And, these things are living, breathing things. And the traffic determines the success of a restaurant. And, typically you get 1 or 2 day parts that, make or break you. Some restaurants are good at lunch, some are good at dinner, some are good at the early evening. You don't really know until you're operating, and, you can have best laid plans, but, the patrons end up determining, when that restaurant's going to be busy. So, we would never have a restaurant open, if it's busy for lunch and it's not busy for dinner, that's an adjustment. But, typically these types of restaurants, dinner is the time, so call it 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's the key time to operate. I think that in terms of security, there's not a security guard at a single Shakey's Pizza, and there's 50 of them, and they're all over Los Angeles, from, the furthest parts of the Inland Empire up to Lancaster, Huntington Park, right here on Arborvitae and Inglewood. So, we'd have cameras in these restaurants, but sorry, I'm rambling now, so I'll let you guys ask
Okay, very good.
questions.
We feel you. Okay, we're going to open up with questions for you. You mentioned Shakey's Pizza. Did you say that?
That's correct.
Is that the one over on Arborvitae? It's
That's
been there
correct.
for a long time. And it's a family restaurant, actually.
That's correct.
If you win a ball game, that's where you go. So I've been there many times.
Shakey's has been good to me.
Okay, we're going to open up with questions. We're going to start with Commissioner Fowler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for sharing your vision of why you want to be here. And I think these drawings reflect exactly what you're stating. There are people, particularly in District 1, who've been looking for a different dining experience. So I think your vision is reflected here. I appreciate that. You answered quite a few of the questions, so I know you thought you were rambling, but actually you did a good job. I saw 4 entrances, but I read in here, it said something about 2 with metal roll-up doors, and they're going to be closed during the day? Or what is the plan?
I think it's weather dependent. When you have to have, there's a door at the front and a door at the rear. So the parking lot's only accessed through the alley. So the way the restaurant's designed, there's, and this is a challenge, to have a very, natural flow going through the restaurant when people are parking in the back. Because for me, there's nothing worse than parking in the back of a restaurant and walking through a tight corridor and you don't know where to go. So the way this was designed, and I have to give, these guys all the credit, if you look at the back, there's a staircase that goes directly to that entrance. So it's hard to tell in this picture, but right in the middle where that door is, there's a staircase that goes straight down.
Okay.
you know, and then on the left, there's a ramp that basically crosses, there's quite a bit of elevation change. So there's a ramp that goes from the left all the way to the right, you know, and there's a landing in the middle where the stairs are. What I like about that is the second you walk through those doors, you can see the front of the restaurant. You know, so it's very natural. You see where to go. And the other entrance is on Market Street, obviously, but, you know, we had to connect the two, which was a bit of a challenge.
Is Streetside Cafe the name?
That's what we're playing with right now.
Okay, just getting ready. I saw you said upstairs office, you shared the type of food. Oh, were there plans for serving beer and wine or alcohol?
Absolutely. I think it's important.
Was that part of the,
This application is for a design review, so the, any sort of distilled spirit would require a special use permit. If it's a restaurant, then it would be allowed by right. The beer and wine would be allowed by right.
wanted to hear that, thank you. I think, shrubbery. I'm not familiar with plants, so when you say that, thank you, Sean, for saying what they were, but I guess I'd like to see them a little taller or a little more visible,
Yep.
because especially I think once the brick is exposed, I think it's more necessary. So I think.
Those plants, by the way, that you're seeing, so in the front, there's no plants because it's, the property, you know, extends all the way to the sidewalk. You know, this is in the rear. So what you're seeing there is this kind of wall that you were mentioning earlier with the plants in the top. You know, that's what you're seeing in the rear.
Okay.
And also, this is a rendering showing the building. On the site plan, there's 2 proposed trees that will go in as well that will provide
Oh,
some.
thank you. Okay. I'm happy now. Thank you.
Commissioner Trio?
First off, can you put the, up on the screen, the front of the building? I just love looking at that. It is quite an improvement to what is there. And before I forget though, are there any plans for any kind of landscaping in front? Potted plants or anything?
If you'll let me landscape, there's a nice planter right in front that some pretty beaten up plants. I'm happy to landscape it for you.
I would encourage that, and I would recommend anybody in the city that would allow that. But, and I'm going to go back to, I know that those of us that have gone to different parts of the country, Walnut had just beautiful walking streets with landscaping, this type of building. So I'm really happy to see that. I think it's just going to be such a plus for the city of Inglewood. And also, you have heard me say that I was in Boise, Idaho recently for a graduation, and there was a group of us, family, that we were walking in the historic part of Boise, and we walked into a pizza place, artisanal pizzas, salads, really family place, because we had some little ones with us that make a lot of noise. But it was very, very nice. So as you were describing, and I'll piggyback on Commissioner Fowler, as you were describing your vision for Inglewood, that's what I was picturing. My trips to Walnut, my trip to Boise, all of those that are just beautiful, beautiful cities. And I have always had a love for Market Street because it's such a quaint little street.
Yeah,
Stores don't match it, but now we're starting to see some of that come back.
I agree 100%. I was in Jackson Hole yesterday over the weekend. I was there and I was there with my 6 and 9-year-old. And you know, last time I was there was 25 years ago, and there was nothing there. You know, and when I was there this last time, it was incredible. I mean, this place is bustling. Every single storefront was filled. There's tons of restaurants. You know, a lot of older buildings like this. It can happen. It just, you know, it takes time and money and a catalyst.
Well, we got to start somewhere, and I like your word bustling. I think that's what we want on Market Street, for all of the stores to come back like that. And I think it has the potential for that. We've taken care of the entertainment district, and now we're coming to Market Street, and I'm really happy to see that somebody that really has lived in the area, knows the area, and sees its potential is doing something like this. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Hi. Is your signature food going to be pizza? Okay, I'll come back to that.
It's the best.
Okay. Okay, I really just have a comment. When I saw your design, I just fell in love with it because it took me to New York. It took me to Houston Street and Spring Street in Soho.
Yep.
And originally I was going to ask you, are you from New York? But then you said, no, you grew up in and around Inglewood.
I never left. Never left. But no, this is the original building. You know,
Yeah.
what it looked like 100 years ago. You know, so it's, you know, we're
Wow.
not recreating anything. We're just taking it back. You know, at some point, you know, they stuccoed the whole thing, and you know, now it looks like what it looks like. You know, so you know, this is just taking it back to original. Like the layout of the windows.
Yeah.
You know, the storefront, the brick. It's all. This is how it was meant to be.
No, I get it because when I moved into my family home, it really bothered me that my mother, God bless her soul, she stuccoed our fireplace. And the fireplace I knew had original brick under it. So I actually paid someone to come and remove the stucco so that the original brick would be exposed because I love original brick. And if it was left up to me, I'd brick my whole house, but I have a husband to deal with on that, so that's another story. Now, the second request I have is you have to name a pizza. You have to name a pizza that's dedicated to Inglewood, something that reflects Inglewood.
I was thinking the Cheryl, but I'll go. I'll go.
Oh,
With
you know, that's fine. You know, that's perfectly fine. But no further questions, just beautiful. I really love it. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, sir, I just have a couple of questions. If you could take the photograph back one. No, I wanted to see the original building, what it looks like. Okay, is this the entire structure
Yes.
from side to side?
Yes.
Okay, so this is between what streets?
It's in line. It's between Manchester and Queen.
So it's between Manchester and Queen.
It's right here.
So you're near a coffee shop?
Next to the coffee shop.
Okay, so that coffee shop that's next door, will it affect your structure? In other words, what I mean by that is once you sandblast this, because this is stucco, and once you sandblast this, you're gonna get the original brick to come out. But the store next door will not have that look.
Right.
It'll be a different look.
So yeah, I actually, you know,
Did you speak to them?
have not, but I did know the architect that redid the building next door. He's passed away, but Fay Rapon. I met him down there years ago, and you know, his vision was a little bit different. I actually did a plan for this building, 20 years ago, and you know, this was 2008. Actually, 2008 when the financial crisis happened and basically killed everything, unfortunately. But we were going to make that building match the one next door. You know, now I think it's more appropriate to take the building back to its original look rather than try to make it look more Mediterranean. But that's my opinion.
I understand, but my question has to do with, because there's a building on the
Sandblasting.
south of you and a building on the north of you.
Yes,
Even though they're all attached, they're still separate parcels.
correct.
So are we going to, or are you going to actually have a conversation with those owners?
Yes.
To see if we can make it uniform, and make it a better look? Because you have your building is going to look really modern, up to date, even though brick is an old, brick is an original structure.
Right.
So now we're going to we're gonna make it, we're gonna take it back to its original look, but now the building on the south and north of you is still stucco.
They're still stucco, correct?
So, I mean, I think it would be a uniform, it'd have that good look. I can't tell you how to do it, but
Yep.
I think that sometimes when it's like, when they see you doing something, then it's like a domino effect. Everybody falls in line. However, you have to have a conversation with them
Sure.
to see if they're willing to fall in line with you. So I'm encouraging you, kind of throwing out a little hint to you, see if you can get them to come in line with your design.
I've spoken to both of them in the past, so I'm happy to do that.
Okay, so also, are there tenants in there now? Is that a
Yeah, so
sports bar, a sports?
No, there's a few tenants there. The building's currently half empty. You know, so we're in the process of moving all the tenants out.
Do they have a lease or is it?
Everything's short term in nature.
Okay. I have no other questions. I have no other questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Am I opening this up? No, I'm not. Everybody's shaking their head over there. You did a fantastic job. Very good. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any
Appreciate the time.
final questions or any final comments from the commissioners? It is now your time to do it. You have 15 seconds on each. Time's up.
Oh, wait, I just, no, Commissioner Fowler mentioned something that,
Okay, Commissioner Fowler has a question?
No.
You have 30 seconds?
No, I have nothing to
Okay.
say.
Commissioner Trejo?
I know, 15
you have a-
seconds,
You
Commissioner
have a
Fowler.
30-second question
30
answer.
seconds.
30 seconds.
I just
Could I get
wanna
a
say
time on
com-
30 seconds, please? No, I'm just kidding.
Commissioner Fowler mentioned that the people, particularly in District 1, you know, are looking for places to, a different type of food to eat. I don't think it's just District 1. I think it's in all of the districts. I want to say District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4. So I think it'll be something that all of us will enjoy, right?
That order is fine.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
I have no further.
Okay. I think it's a good project. Before you guys before we go to the motion, I just want to say, I think it's a good project. I think it'll enhance the downtown area. You know, eventually, the downtown area is going to change tremendously. So that would be something that will enhance the downtown area. And it is in District 1. I'm in District 1, and you're in District 1. So,
I'm in 3.
and you're in 3, so we feel sorry for you, but that's okay. I think it'll enhance the area. You know, right now, the people movers are one of the most important things that's going to happen on Market Street. So I don't see how that's going to interfere with it.
I think we lost some funding on that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, let's not get out beyond our scope.
We're not going to get into that right
Please.
now. Okay, so is there a motion on the floor?
Motion. I recommend that the Planning Commission affirm the categorical exemption EACE 2024-089 and adopt the resolution approving DR 24-00023.
Second.
I'd like to add something to your motion. If they can add a pizza under the name of Inglewood,
In honor of Inglewood?
in honor of Inglewood. Can we put that in there, Mr. Pan? We can add that in there?
We can add that?
We did it to another
Okay,
one.
I accept that. Yes, I do.
I still second.
Okay, it's properly moved in second. We call for any questions. Hearing none, we'll call for a vote.
Commissioner Fowler,
Aye.
Commissioner Rice. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Commissioner Trejo.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams.
Aye.
Chairman Springs.
Aye. Congratulations. You're going to brighten up the city.
Yeah.
You're going to brighten up downtown. There's a couple of really nice eateries on Market Street, and they're packed. So you're brightening it up. And Mr. Bernard, is there an appeal process?
Yes, Chairman. According to the IMC, the applicant may appeal the Planning Commission's decision. by filing a written appeal within 10 days of the notice of decision with the Planning Division and an appeal fee of $389.
Okay, Madam Secretary, last one.
Item 7C, a non-public hearing to consider an application by Real Estate Development Services Group for vesting tentative tract map number 84423 to allow a new 5-unit, 2.5-story townhome-style condominium on an approximately 8,006 square foot R3 zone property at 419 South Eucalyptus Avenue.
Chairman, the file is present. Notice is not required for this track map application, and Planner Christine Rivera is present to do a short staff presentation.
Good evening, Chairman Springs and members of the Commission. The subject site for this vesting tentative tract map is located at 419 South Eucalyptus Avenue and is zoned R3. The property is located on the west side of Eucalyptus Avenue between Kelso Street and Lime Street, surrounded by residential uses. On May 6, 2022, a site plan review was approved for a new 5-unit, 2.5-story residential apartment building at the subject site. On September 12, 2023, an ordinance was passed by the City Council to allow the removal of SUP requirements for condominiums, with the intent to make it easier for sale homes to be developed in Inglewood. On April 5th, 2024, a vesting tentative tract map was filed for a townhome-style condominium on the site, and on June 6th, Public Works approved the vesting tentative tract map, which is what you see on the slide behind you. A vesting tentative tract map subdivides a property into smaller lots for the purpose of townhomes or condominiums. Vesting means once approved, there is a right to proceed with the development in accordance with what was approved on the map. Currently, the project is under construction. As conditioned, the proposed project will serve as an enhancement to its neighborhood setting. It will be developed in accordance with existing zoning and zoning development standards. If the Planning Commission recommends approval, it will go to the City Council for approval, and it is exempt from further environmental review. It is consistent with the general plan and the city's active transportation plan and Inglewood Energy Climate Action Plan. No public comments were received. This concludes my presentation, and I'm available to answer any questions the commission might have. The applicant is also here tonight to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to open up questions for you, Commissioner Fowler.
Yes, I was reading, it said, so these are for sale?
For sale, yes.
Okay, I just want to be sure. I don't have any further questions.
Commissioner Rice.
Rare animal, thank you. We've been needing this for a long time. You said the project is currently under construction,
Yes, it's currently under construction.
and if this body doesn't approve the track map or fails appeal, what happens?
It can be sold as not sold, it can be rented out as apartments, but it wouldn't be able to be for sale condos.
That's the only question.
Commissioner Trail.
Aside from the private open space for each of the units, is there any recreational amenities for the area, since you've got 3-bedroom units and more than likely there will be children? Is there any open space? I mean, besides the private open space?
I believe these condos only have private open space.
Is it something that we can ask for?
5 units.
Yeah, the rear yard setback requirements would also, we have a requirement for children's play area. Is also a requirement as a part of the number of units that are being developed. So that could be.
But it doesn't indicate it in the report itself there.
No. So there's, in addition to the private open space, which I'm guessing is the rear yard?
The private open space are the patios and balconies that are developed as a part of the townhomes.
Okay, now you said something about there will be?
So there is a rear yard setback that's required as a part of the development of the structure that would and could create an area for a children's play area.
Okay, you're saying would and could. It could create? Is
Code,
that-
the code requires a children's play area for the size of the
okay.
development, yeah.
Okay, okay. Then there is something that is being proposed for that.
Yeah, and it's, with the city's been developed with a lot of, single and one-bedroom units, and so kind of a children's play area has kind of become a little forgotten in the wind, but the code does require it, and so do we, and so we enforce it.
Okay, I guess I'm just looking for an area for the kids to run around. Okay, that's all the questions I have.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
No questions, thank you.
My question is, how many floors is this?
It's 2.5-story,
2.5 stories.
2.5 stories. So it's a garage, 2-car garage, and then a story above that and one more story.
Okay, so if I'm on the second floor, do I have an area for my child to play? Is it on the second floor? Or are we looking at?
It's a townhouse. It's up and down.
Up and down? Where you enter through your garage, right? Correct. But we're still looking at an area, correct?
Backyard.
Yes, so the backyard, that 20-foot rear yard setback area would be essentially the backyard, and that's the common play area for the children.
Is there any other areas on that parcel, common area on the parcel?
No.
Is there space for a common area on the parcel?
Just the rear. That's code requirement.
I'm not really sure, because you have to pay HOAs. Am I correct in saying that? All right, so I think I'd address or am I addressing the right person in regards to common areas for a barbecue or a whirlpool, something to that nature?
Okay. The applicant will be able to speak to that.
All right, if the applicant is here.
Excuse me, Chair. Just before we get in, I want us, we've been, I'm going to say this
Kindly.
probably, I'm stretching it a little bit, but this commission has asked us to help produce more for-sale housing.
Yes, you
It
did.
asked us to do that. A lot of rental housing is being created. We came back to this commission to relax the standards so that we could see that transformation occur, understanding that we were giving up a little bit of something, and some of that is our just traditional standards that we've all embraced over the years. I will also say, because I've had this dialogue with a lot of individuals about Inglewood in particular, there was a time in talking to staff where the private open space was a critical component because we had crime-related issues and other issues that restrict us from having a robust activity in our recreational areas, our parks, where it's changed. So now, because we have such wonderful amenities in our city, the parents are utilizing those areas much more than we have seen in decades. And not only that, the city council has on purpose funded a lot of programs to make sure that occurred. So I just want to add that in because I think it's a very important aspect of what we're trying to create in this city. We acknowledge we need areas where it's common and open, but we're taking advantage of our parks like we never have in our facilities. And I think a lot of these developments are going to benefit from that. So I just want to share that with you in terms of what our thoughts are as staff as we look at these transformations And I'll close with saying that in the past, when we did a conversion from a, number one, we really increased our standards for residential over the years. And to convert back, we had to really grapple with making sure that these amenities were available and how they impacted, which is why we required those types of projects to come back to the Planning Commission so that you could deliberate on those. But we've now baked those in. A lot of the standards that the Commission had concerns about, we've addressed those. So I just want the Chair and the Commission to consider that as we consider this particular project, because I don't think this is going to be the last situation. I think what we're going to see is many of our apartment complexes, both, up 4 units and some of them larger, being considered for sale development. Thank you, Chair.
And Mr. Jackson, I do appreciate your comments on that, and I do applaud you on what you're saying. The only reason I mention that is a lot of times when prospective home buyers are looking for something, they're always asking, is there space for children to go? That's what they're asking. So I do understand that we had come to staff and asked them for housing and if we can get more housing. But my question is always going to be, are we going to provide extra space for children? Is it going to be a tot lot? Those kind of things. Because in the past, we've had that. Tot lots, and those were some of the requirements. So I understand what you're saying, Mr. Jackson. However, the question is always going to come up with prospective home buyers, because that's what they're looking for. Even though we have the parks and people are going to the parks now more so in droves, and our parks are really nice and safe. But sometimes moms don't want to go to the park. They want to stay at home. So that's just one of the questions that I'm going to ask. Thank you very much, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Bernard. Thank you very much. Can you give us, this is a little sidebar that we're having with staff, okay? Okay. Your name and tell us about your project, please.
Are you ready for me? And can you hear me okay?
We can hear you fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair Springs and Commissioners. And I appreciate the opportunity to present to you tonight. I am Stacy Strauss from Real Estate Development Services Group. I'm not the owner of the property, but I am the representative tonight. I would like to thank our planner, Christine Rivera, for her guidance and review during the whole process and getting us to where we are tonight. As Planner Rivera described, this is a request for just the tentative map. The design review was done 2 years ago, and the project was fully compliant with zoning requirements. So at this time, we're really only requesting the subdivision portion of the project. But I do hear the concerns about how the design is going to live, how it's going to be used. And just as a planner on the private side, often interacting with city staff, I will say that a project like this typically brings city quite a bit of Quimby fees, and that does enhance your parks and then you have other infrastructure fees typically as well that come from subdivision fees. So that would be a benefit for this particular project or any others that come before you. The project design on this particular one is well under construction and can't change at this time to create a different allocation of space, but I would lean to those potential Quimby fees or other city infrastructure fees to achieve some of the desired results for this particular project. But again, this is just for a tentative map, and what that does is the first phase of subdividing a lot for condominium use and creating units that are eligible for individual ownership rather than for rent. This makes them eligible for 5 individual families to have pride of home ownership in their city and plant their roots and make this city their home. Let's see. The applicant and property owner team has reviewed all the suggested conditions of approval and is in agreement with all of them and asks for your approval tonight. I'm available to answer any questions, but otherwise do seek your approval of this map.
Okay, thank you. We're going to open up a question. Commissioner Fowler, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for sharing that with us. I guess I'm more interested in, everything can't be a barbecue. Balconies, do you have balconies on these facilities? I'm trying to hear a little more about what's inside. Washer, dryer, I'm just trying to understand what's available.
Right, so thank you for the opportunity to answer. I will tell you that the design was done 2 years ago, and I wasn't part of the design team. I'm just part of the subdivision team. But in that, I think my guess is the city staff is quite familiar with the plans because they did the design review 2 years ago. And typically, you would want outdoor space off of livable space. I'm assuming they're going to be decks and balconies off of livable area.
Correct. So each unit has their own balcony, washers, dryers, everything that's required through our municipal code.
Perfect. I have no further questions.
Commissioner Rice?
You did have an elevation on your presentation, correct? I didn't get it in my package.
I think there's just a photo of this is what is currently at the site.
That's what's built. And you're
Yes.
doing the design for that. Just trying to see how much that looks like an apartment versus a condominium. Well, that works. Now, the open space, 120 square feet on most of the units, except for the last one at 90 something. Where is that located? This is the area that each.
Right here, that would be the open space, and then right behind, so that's the first unit.
So each of the units have about a 10 by 12, 120 square feet of open space. And see my toddler playing there.
It's fenced.
A little dicey.
Well, depending on how big they
Depends on
are,
how
you're
you
right.
decorate that. Okay. And then the rear yard setback is how much?
20 feet.
20 feet back. There's 20 by 50,000 square feet?
Right.
Okay. And then that's
pretty nice.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Commissioner Trail?
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
I just have a comment, piggybacking off of what Mr. Jackson said, because I didn't see a need for a play area. I saw HOA, and so when you include these play areas, you're also including upkeep of that area. You're also including a possibility of increase in your HOA fees. If they already have a patio and backyard, that's plenty. I lived in a townhome complex, 5 homes. We had a patio and backyard. The kids in our complex rarely played in their backyards, and most of them probably was in the house on their tablets. So I'm good with this. It's fine. No further comments or questions.
And let me know if you want me to address HOA dues or how that works.
Actually, yes. Do you know what the HOA dues are going to be?
That's a great question. We're actually regulated by the California Department of Real Estate, the DRE. So after we leave here, we make an application to the state, the California Department of Real Estate, and they will not only review the subdivision documents, they will review the city requirements, make certain that the project fulfills all city requirements, that a final map is recorded following this tentative map, and then they're going to review the CCNRs and a condominium plan, as well as the city will review the CCNRs. And I did want to, and an HOA budget. And those are all subject to the Davis-Sterling Act and the Business and Professional Code in the state of California. So the DRE will review that budget, and they have guidelines for each item, but these will only be for items that are maintained by the HOA. But I did want to speak a little bit about the CCNRs, because that is something that's very important for this project or any condominium project that you have in this city, because having CCNRs, a project like a condominium, there's a huge benefit to having CCNRs because it allows the city to ensure that your needs are met. So if you have maintenance requirements for this property or limitations on, for instance, no semi-permanent structures like a canopy in the drive aisle, or maintenance of green space, or limitations on trash, or requirements for any modifications to the design, or guest parking, that it remain open and accessible and only to be parked for guests and no storage or other items to be utilized in that area. Our opportunity is in the CCNRs. So there's a huge benefit to the Planning Commission deciding that this is going to be a for sale product with CCNRs. We will prepare those CCNR draft, submit it to the city for review, comment, and approval prior to then submitting to the California Department of Real Estate.
I'm glad you explained that because I served as president on my HOA board, and my pet peeve was the guest parking. And unfortunately, I had to tow a few cars. So, but thank you for your explanation. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I have no questions for you. Okay, any final comments or questions from the commissioners? Hearing none.
Motion.
Is there a motion?
I move that we adopt a resolution approving VTTM-84423, recommending approval of VTTM 84423 to the mayor and city council.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. We'll call for any questions. Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Fowler?
Aye.
Commissioner Rice?
Aye.
Commissioner Trejo?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Aye.
Chairman Springs?
Aye. Is there an appeal process?
Yes, sir. According to the IMC, the applicant may appeal the planning commission's recommendation on this matter by filing a written appeal within 10 days of the notice of decision to the planning division.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations. Okay,
Excuse me, Chair.
I'm sorry.
My apologies. And I just also would like to mention your recommendation will be forwarded to the city council for their approval.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going into public comments. Anyone wishing to address the Planning Commission on items not already addressed may do so at this time. Hearing, seeing none, we're going to close this segment. Now we're going to go to Commissioners' Initiatives. We're going to start with Commissioner Fowler.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to acknowledge our summer intern. I was glad to see you here. I hope you've enjoyed your time. I'm sure you've learned a lot, hopefully of what to do. I also, Councilmember Gray held her commissioners meeting last Thursday for all her commissioners. And what's good about that is we get to hear what's going on in the different districts and understand how we can work more collaboratively. I also want to announce that Councilmember Gray is hosting a Family Unity Day on August 24th at Darby Park from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's going to be a blast. You don't want to miss it. There's going to be a resource area with booths for information, like our Next Level project that the commission is working on. We're going to have tacos and burgers while they last, so you might want to bring your own picnic basket just in case. But plenty of kids' games, softball, basketball, bid, whist, and dominoes for those who indulge there, face painting, line dancing, pickleball lessons. That has become very popular. It's even on TV now. And so hopefully we will see you all there. That concludes my comments.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Rice?
Just want to say goodbye to our intern again also. Thank you so much. We've enjoyed you. And I also want to thank staff for working on this condominium and townhome map act to help us to be able to get more units for sale in the city and more affordable housing. That's it.
Commissioner Trejo?
Yes, to our intern, I'm sure you're going to go back to school with a bunch of wonderful comments about this wonderful city of Inglewood. We enjoyed having you. And I wanted to mention my corner of Century and Inglewood Boulevard, the gas station, the fence went up that I had mentioned about asking that a fence be put up. They put it up within days. The first time I passed it, it appeared that the gates were open, and I said, "What?" But now they put a lock and chain in, and it has stayed up. It's sort of a temporary thing, but I think it really, really has helped. And then I'm starting to see some progress on the cleanup of the tire store. They still have stuff that they have to clean up, but at least now it's noticeable. And next door to the tire store is, I believe it's still a vacant building, but the windows had been broken. I said, "Oh no." But within 2 days, they replaced the windows. So I'm really keeping an eye on that corner because it's a very visible corner. And, I want to see it cleaned up more. And you're starting to see it. So I do appreciate your help with that. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to comment on that because I really want to spotlight code enforcement. Jerry Tucker, his team, Lee Ng, and the whole team has been really responsive to the things that we're hearing. So the reason why we didn't bring an update to you is because we know we haven't gotten exactly where we're trying to go. But their staff, I get weekly updates over the reductions of the tires, getting them moved off, those types of things. So I want to let the chair and the commissioner know we hear your concerns. Some of them take a little bit longer. And I will say that tire shop owner has been working with staff. It really is refreshing. So it wasn't a get away from me situation. It was really, can I have time to go down that pathway of curing the issue? So we hope that we'll have that resolved within the next 30 days.
Wonderful. Yeah, like I said, it's very visible now that they're working on it. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Shaw Williams?
We're going to miss our intern's beautiful smile. Good luck to you. I went to the community invitation to Intuit Dome, myself and my husband, while it was well attended. But I'm telling everyone now who goes to Intuit Dome, download that app. There is nothing you can do there with regards to cash or credit cards. It's cashless, and they mean it. It was so funny. We were in line for the flagship store. And so there was like 5 or 6 people in front of us, and they were all trying to download their app. They wanted to go in the store. They wouldn't let you in the store. So I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, my name pops up because it's face recognition, and I may have moved a certain way. It says Cheryl Williams. I said, "That's me." And he said, "Come on through." And the people were like, "Wait a minute, we've been in line." I'm like, "You guys had to download the app." So make sure you download that app when you go to before you go to Intuit, so your experience is painless and you have a good time. And that includes the food too. The food was really good. We went into one of the places, and my husband got the chicken fingers. They were really good. So anyway, that's all. Have a good weekend.
To the intern, you going back to school? Okay, very good. Congratulations on and I'm sure you had a good time here. I have a couple of things that I'd like to talk about. One being the light on Manchester and Fifth Avenue. It apparently is only less than 20 seconds. I will sit there for a while just to make sure I was correct. And it's less than 20 seconds. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with the new signal like they have on Manchester and Crenshaw, because now it's two turning lanes going, if you're going west, they're turning left going south now onto Crenshaw. I don't know if that had an effect on that signal there or not. But from Van Ness going west on Manchester to Crenshaw, there's a signal light at 3rd, 5th, 7th, and then again at Crenshaw. So it's going to take you a while to get through from that little area. So I was wondering if there's any kind of way we can kind of look into that and see if they can do something on the traffic signals there.
Well, there's some synchronization issues that are going on across the network. We're moving to a system, obviously adjusting to a lot of the activity that's going on in the entertainment district, as well as with the metro trains. So we're seeing similar things. So what we're going to do is we will forward this information over to our traffic division in Public Works, but we'll also send out some contact information for the commissioners so you know who to call. I think it's very important that we inform what's happening on the network. I happen to be in an executive meeting, and the mayor had a similar situation. We were talking with Public Works about some other right turns, left turns, over the tracks, these types of things, which they're adjusting. I neglected to bring up earlier, but we did hire a new Public Works director, and Tony Olmos is the new Public Works director who comes directly from the city of Pasadena. So he's familiar with a lot of the large crowd type activities that happen in cities like ours. And so we want to make sure that your comments are not delayed, because the sooner we can get that information over, the quicker they can address the issue. Now, sometimes that will be that was on purpose, and we'll be able to respond back to you the reasons and the rationales for that. Other times it'll be, yeah, you're right, let's adjust it. But they are switching over to a system that's going to be remotely operated, and there's some kinks in the system right now that they're working through, but I have full confidence. What I'm encouraging the commissioners to do is, as you encounter these situations, while we love it that you give us the information here at the Planning Commission, when you're encountering it, I want you to be able to have access to the people who could do something, and it's not 30 days happening. And you're not the only one sitting there trying to get through a light, and other folks are just as frustrated as you are. So we'll make sure that they get that, you guys get that information, and you'll have that touch point. We'll make sure we text it to you, so you'll have it in your phones. So while you're sitting there, you can actually call and let them know. And then you certainly can follow up with us, with Mr. McCrumbie or myself, and we'll make sure we usher it through.
Okay, very good, thank you. My next question has to do with a mural. We've approved several murals throughout the city, one being on Crenshaw at just south of Imperial on the east side of the street. I was coming through, I was on Crenshaw going north, right in front of McDonald's on Crenshaw and Imperial, and someone has painted a mural on that. It must be a telephone box or something. Is that private property, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a program. Well, it's in the public right of way, and there's a program throughout LA County. That's a public arts program where they're decorating those boxes with art, so that wouldn't be subject to Planning Commission approval.
Interesting.
Because I think people are asking the same question. It's in these boxes painted with all kinds of artwork on them. And I did have a discussion with Thomas Uall, the Parks Recreation and Community Services Department, and asking him to provide some documentation when he's actually on vacation now, but when he gets back, he's going to provide that documentation, and we'll forward that over to you so you understand the program, because I'm sure people come to you as commissioners and ask you what's going on.
Correct.
So it's creative art. It's funded without our funds. It's using other funds to create that, and so the program, I just think you need to be aware of it. So we'll forward that over to you.
Okay.
But it is a city authorized modification of those boxes,
Okay.
of those utility facilities.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. I have nothing else. I want to close the meeting. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr.
Sorry, Chairman, before you close, just a couple of things. One is next month, we will be providing you with our next level T-shirts. We're going to deliver your swag bags with your planning commission packets. We are going to ask that you wear them to next month's meeting so that we can begin our formal branding campaign of our comprehensive general plan. So I know you've been anxiously awaiting your swag bags, and we're going to provide those for you.
And we weren't going to all give you smalls, so that some of you would have looked at me and looked at Bernard and said,
What is this?
What is this?
What is this? Yes.
Privately. Okay.
Yes. You can text me. Yes. All right, and we will make sure that you have your swag bags at when we deliver your packets next month. Also, we do want to say goodbye to Nicolette. She has been a star. She's done a fantastic job helping us in developing and doing some research for some code amendments that we'll be bringing before you in the coming months. And as she heads back to Cal Berkeley for her sophomore year, we want to wish her all the best, and we look forward to having her back next summer.
And by the way, that's her proud daddy over there, Gustavo Lamana. He's one of our outside special counsel. He's one of the attorneys. So he advocated for her to go to Cal. I tried to get her to Cal Poly Pomona, but
USC probably would have been better, but that's okay.
Here we go.
Okay, I want to close tonight's meeting in memory of a good friend of mine and a resident of the city of Inglewood and a business owner in the city of Inglewood. He was also a commissioner here for Councilman Alex Padilla. His name is Ted Brass. Ted is his nickname is Theotis Brass. And I just want to close the meeting in memory of Ted Brass.